riders then have already disappeared away into the first of their sighting laps. Just looking to that warm-up this morning, Larry, saying that for Dan Linfoot, Damon Rees was fastest. And I tell you what, Damon Rees was so unfortunate yesterday not to have had a podium, fourth place, the first of the losers, really, in terms of the podium. But he was fastest this morning. But Danny Kent, second fastest. But Dan Linfoot, third fastest in warm-up this morning. Don't know whether you've had a chance to speak with Dan Linfoot. This, of course, will be, for a long, long time for Dan, his first time on treaded tyres. Being a British Superbike rider for, the last 10 or 12 years, that would be all slick tyres. So he's back to treads. I think he ran treads when he did race in the British Super Sport.
He ran for Rob McElnay for a little while, and also the Northwest 200 squad, I seem to recall, going back a while. Did a little bit in World Super Sport for a short period of time. Of course, he's a former champion in the European Superstock, a race winner in European Superstock, but you're right.
600, that is Stock 600.
Stock 600, yeah. But this is the first time. He looked, I haven't spoken to him, but it looked as though he had one or two braking issues yesterday. He was running on in a couple of corners.
And that's what ended it for him, wasn't it? Up at Beckett's there. He ran on so far that I say he was almost down at Stoke Corner by the time it stopped it. He ran in the 250 World Championship, and I think you had a rather silly bet with him, and it cost you the price of an exhaust, didn't it?
125 British Grand Prix back in, 2004. I'd said to him, he's from the North Yorkshire Road Racing Supporters Club up in my neck of the woods, and I said, Dan, you'll be doing really well to, get a finish against this. You'll be doing exceptionally well in the top 20. Dream about scoring a point, and I'll chip a few quid into the kitty. If you get inside the top 10, I'll buy you a set of tyres. He finished 7th. Cost old Scoop an absolute fortune that weekend.
My man Scoop, who is totally hard up, ladies and gents. He tells me every time I'm on the phone to him how hard up he is and how things are bad up north and so on and so forth. And
pit lane visitor, Fred.
I didn't mind the new BMW we were riding last evening, though.
Pit lane visitor David Allingham down pit lane, Fred, on the Newton Aprilia.
Yes, that is the Aprilia. David Allingham, who has actually taken that ride over. That was the ride that Levi Day would have been on board that particular bike. That would be the number 23 who has into pit lane after the warm-up lap. Is he going to make a start from the pit lane, do you think, Larry?
His body language wasn't good when it come down. He's wheeled off the side. Yes, he is, Fred. He's at the gate at the end of pit lane, yes.
So it was obviously something minor that they have rectified there, and he will be starting from the back of the grid, as it were. Pit lane start. When the riders have all gone past him, then he will be released to join the battle. That's the number 23, the 25-year-old from Eglinton in County Londonderry, David Allingham, riding the J&S Accessories IN competition Aprilia. British Superbikes for him last year, of course, wasn't it? And British Supersport the year before that. As we are now in a go situation and the race is fully underway. This then is for 24 laps, and into the lead it's a Neve. It is Tim on the Suzuki that leads in toward turn number 1 for this the first time. That looks like that's Lewis Rolo that's got away pretty safely then ahead of Tom Neve on the Honda as they make the run then up toward Beckett's for the first time. That is exactly the order. That's Chrissy Rouse running then in 4th place. That's Damon Rees running there in 5th place as the whole pack then go through Beckett's right-hander. Now up are in the gearbox here, up with his stockers to about 168 miles an hour on the run down toward this left-hander. It is Tim Neve that is your race leader. That certainly looks to be Lewis Rolo running then in 2nd position as they turn it away then in toward Loffield. That in 3rd place then as they come back toward us. Just a little bit of yo-yoing back and forth here. We'll let them settle down as they come up toward this to complete this first lap. And in the order of Tim Neve, number 14, is your race leader as they complete lap number 1. Lewis Rolo number 6. This is then Tom Neve number 68. This is then Chrissy Rouse 69. Damo Rees 92. Skippy McConnell number 3. Danny Kent 52. Davey Todd 74. Followed by Hutchie, Rogers, Truelove, Richardson, Jones, Linfoot, Weaving, Elliott, Winfield, Sheldon Shaw, Hedger, Jaycock, Teasdale, Dan Cooper, Williams, Philp, Hopkins, Craig Neve, Tinmouth, Tunstall, Saez and Hodgson of the 30 riders we have on screen number 1. So we can get back then with the race leaders. Number 51 up there with the name of Elliott, of course, not Josh Elliott. That is the Australian rider, Braden Elliott, who went through in 16th place at the end of lap number 1. We'll get onto screen number 2 as and when we get charts on this one, because we will be looking for the progress of the number 23 of David Allingham. Here is your new leader. It's Lewis Rolo that leads this one. You'd look at it and you say, well, it's spelled R-O-L-L-O, and that surely is Rollo. Well, that's what I was calling him till I asked him how he liked his name pronounced, and he says Rolo. So Lewis Rolo it is then, the number 6, that is your race leader by a quarter of a second ahead of Tim Neve from his twin brother Tom Neve. Then Chrissy Rouse, Skippy McConnell up to 5th place. That pushes Damon Reese back to 6th place. Danny Kent holds 7th. David Todd stays there in 8th. Hutchie stays there 9th. And coming now into the top 10 is the number 59 of Matt Trulove. Back then with the race leaders. Little battle for 3rd place here. That is Chrissy Rouse. I think that's already gone past Tom Neve as he consolidated it on the run in toward Brooklands Corner. Yes, he has. That's Chrissy Rouse that has gone up into 3rd place. That pushes Tom Neve and the Honda back into 4th place. Remember that Tom Neve is the championship leader by just 10 points from Chrissy Rouse, and every position in front of Tom Neve that Chrissy can finish, then he will be decreasing that deficit. And he has set his sights singularly on the British Championship this year. He was, of course, scheduled to be running for the MSS Performance Kawasaki squad, but that particular organisation, they suffered pretty dramatically economically under the COVID-19 lockdown and so on and so forth. So unfortunately they were unable to continue with their support of Chrissy Rouse, and he was left high and dry. So he's really scraped the bottom of the barrel, and he's put everything on the line here to hire this Phil Crow Performance bike, and he's running 2nd in the championship. He's running 3rd in the race here ahead of his nemesis, and that is Tom Neve, and Tom Neve looks on the inside. It's 25, 2016, 13, so that would be 3 points. That 10-point advantage to Tom has been reduced by 3 points to 7 with a snapshot just at this moment in time. Skippy McConnell, good, smart, polished act is Billy Skippy McConnell, the number 3 rider, 33-year-old from Adelaide in Australia, and he running with that beautifully liveried, the gold lettering of the Rich Energy OMG on the side of the black fairing of that particular bike. That's Billy Skippy McConnell in toward Cops Corner. He goes 29 stop with a technical problem out on the circuit. That will be turn number 1, and that's the first of the retirements, and that is the number 29, and that will be Ben Broadway, all 6'3" of him, Ben Broadway. No changes of the leading riders. Dan Linfoot obviously didn't get away cleanly, because Dan Linfoot went through at the end of lap 4 in 13th place, ahead of Jordan Weaving, 34, Sean Winfield, number 8, Joe Sheldon Shaw, number 10, Braden Elliott, he's running there 17th, Luke Edge is running 18th, Jaycock running 19th, and Teasdale running in 20th place, ahead of Dan Cooper, Tommy Phil Williams, Jenny Tinmouth, she's running 24th at the moment. And David Allingham now comes into 30th. He's moved onto screen number 1 as David Allingham from the pit lane start. And the bad luck continues. Inevitably, if I say it's the retirement, who will it be? Number 82, Luke Jones. Poor old Luke Jones. What on earth has he got to do to get a race finish? But he stopped with a technical problem. Has the number 82, the High Sparks Aprilia rider, is out of this one in exactly as he was at Snedden. The bike actually just went into electrical lockdown. The computer just shut down on the bike at Snedden. It may well have done exactly the same here at Silverstone. Leader, though, is Lewis Rolo, the rider from the village of Gifford in the Royal Borough of Haddington, East Lothian, and he there with the EJ and their successors IN competition RSV4. Finished 6th in the National Stock 6000 Championship last year, including a victory, a wonderful victory in the wet of Donington Park, and he was a rider that we first came across, I think, when he was runner-up in the Ducati Tri-Options Cup 2 or 3 years ago. Quite a tall rider is Lewis Rolo. Lead us through, and that then is complete 6. Fastest lap, the lap record set yesterday, or the lap record improved yesterday, Tom Neve with a 54.72. Well, I tell you what, they're going to have to rewrite that, and our kid's got it. Tim Neve's got it now at the moment, 54.56. This is Tim, the twin brother of Tom. Tom is officially in the programme as the lap record holder from yesterday at the moment, but that is going to be scrubbed out, and the name Tim Neve will be penciled in, because it's not cast in tablets of stone. There's still a lot of laps to go, and we could well see that lap record come down even lower than that. Can tell you were saying about the speeds down at the Wellington Straight. Fastest through the speed trap is Lewis Rolo at 170 miles per hour on the run down the Wellington Straight down toward the Brooklands left-hander. This will be coming up then to complete what will be lap number 7. That's still a freight train, The top 5 still covered by less than 1 second. Indeed, the top 8 riders covered by 1 3/4 seconds. Rolo Rouse into 2nd place. Tim Neve back to 3rd. Tom Neve is 4th. McConnell is 5th. Reese is there 6th. Todd moves up ahead of Danny Kent. That's the number 74 on the 2nd of the Hondas. And it has to be said that the number 74 of Davey Todd, with the 2 signings of Honda this year, ostensibly to do the short circuits, was Tom Neve, ostensibly to do the roads before they were all knocked on the head by COVID, and that was Davy Todd. And Davy Todd, whilst he does have experience of short circuits, he is proving to be a very, very capable short circuit rider. This is the rider who won the International Road Racing Championship Series last year, Davy Todd. Just watching Chrissy Rouse there, who is just ahead of Rolo. So that means that Chrissy Rouse is your race leader. Now, this is going to put a different complexion on the fact. If Tom Neve, where's Tom? That would be 25, 2016, 13. That would actually mean at the moment that Chrissy Rouse, with a snapshot, is the new British Championship leader. That's assuming they finish where they are at the moment. There's no guarantee of that, because there's a change straight away, because Tom Neve immediately goes past Tim Neve to take third place, and that then will be 25, 2016, that then will be a reduction of 9 points, so that would mean that Tom Neve still leads it by 1 point at the moment. That's how finely poised this British Championship is, ladies and gents. The battle, the cutthroat battle between the Works Honda and the totally privateer self-funded bike of Chrissy Rouse. And that four machines wide on the run down in toward this left-hander. Number 20 stopped with a technical problem at turn 3 and 2-4. That number 20 out there that has retired, that is Dan Cooper, another road racer par excellence, Dan Cooper. Rouse, Roddo, Tim Neve, Tom Neve it was. That's going to be Rouse that's coming through as your race leader. Tom Neve up then into third place. And still, what that, that's counting through, that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's a dozen of them. That's around about a baker's dozen, I would say, there that have covered by about 2 seconds. That's the top 10 covered by just on 2 seconds, ladies and gents. And the 10th place at the moment then is Hutchie, number 44, Ian Hutchinson, on the Edwards 1902 BMW. But that is one big scrum down out there, really is. Rouse, Rolo, Tom Neve, Tim Neve, McConnell, Rees, Todd, Kent, Truelove and Hutchinson. That top 10 covered by just on 2.1 seconds. And that's Tim Neve being shuffled back another place there, is it? Yes, it is. No, he's old fourth place. The old fourth position. But that there on the outside is Skippy McConnell that is now asking some searching questions. So where is Tom Neve? The answer to that is he's in second place. Tom Neve is up now into second place. It is Chrissy Rouse that leads this one then from Tom Neve as they come through then to complete lap number 10. And across the line they go. Rouse, Tom Neve, Rolo, Tim Neve, McConnell, Rees, Todd, Kent, Truelove, Hutchinson, Rogers. Dan Linfoot now goes another place higher, goes up into 12th position on the Batham's BMW, ahead of 28 Richardson, 34 Weaving and 10 Joe Sheldon Shaw, followed by Winfield, Hedger, Jaycock, Braden Elliott, Teasdale Philp, Tinmouth, Williams, Craig Neve, Hopkins, Tunstall, Danny Sayers, David Allingham 28th, and the final rider on the circulating at the moment is the road racer from near Wigan, and that is Robert Hodson, number 99. In fact, I think he's not the last one there, because I think Salty Sellers is still out there circulating. That would be Dave Salty Sellers, number 61. But let's get back toward the business end, and it is still anybody's race, this one. It really is. A missed-gear change, a little bit of outbraking by either or any competitors is going to change the menu of this race completely. It really is. And now Tom Neve looks to make the move in toward turn number 1 on the inside. He can't. Chrissy Rouse holds it into turn number 1 as Chrissy second in the championship, and then the two Neve twins battling away behind. Would have thought, what are we, September? No, they've probably got the harvest in, haven't they? They would have been pretty busy doing the harvest, getting the crops in. Tom Neve now has to relinquish to our kid that second place. Tim Neve on the Hawk Racing. Bill Bay Suzuki now moves up to second in the race. That pushes Tom Neve back to third. Let's look behind them. That then is Skippy McConnell. No, it's not. It's Lewis Rolo, Skippy McConnell, Damo Rees, and behind them, looks like that is Davy Todd. So Damo Rees taking a wide line then in toward the right-hander to see whether it was him or Shane Richardson. One of the James Jackson riders, I think, just took a wide line on the left-hander there, may have lost a place as they come through to reel off lap number 12, and no mistaking the race leader as they go across the line there. That is Chrissy Rouse from Tim Neve, Tom Neve, Rolo, McConnell, Rees, Todd, Kent, Truelove, Hutchinson, Rogers, Linfoot, Weaving, Richardson. So Rees is definitely there, and Richardson, yes, it was Shane Richardson. He lost a place to Jordan Weaving by virtue of running a whisker wide in toward that left-hander. Chrissy Rouse, the number 69 rider, your race leader, the 24-year-old with a degree in mathematics, races out of Newcastle upon Tyne, and he fourth in the Stock 1000 Championship of last year, picked up just the one victory, which was over the Grand Prix circuit at Donington Park, but he has always been a superb stocker racer. But he's had to give that lead away. He's had to give the lead away, or should I say it's been well and truly earned at the moment by Tim Neve, number 14 Tim Neve, who really has two major concerns. One is to get the win, but the second one is always to finish ahead of our kid, which is his twin brother Tom, who rides the factory Honda. And Tom now comes up in the second place. So the twins Neve are now first and second. It's Tim from Tom. Sounds like a Walt Disney comedian.
Keep your on Skippy McConnell, Fred. There's a number of times he's put his hand in the air and like shaking and pointing a finger there. I'm not too sure what's going on with the number 3.
Skippy, well, we'll have a look and see on that one. Now, he's a very gentleman. He's again left-handed now. He's not happy with somebody. Now, who's he not happy with? That looks like that on the inside could be, going to pause there, that could be Tom Neve. No, it's Chrissy Rouse there. Oh, and they're all over the shop now. And Tom Neve was almost tail-ended by Skippy McConnell then, as they had to ease the pace there for Chrissy Rouse. So it's all changed again, and I think he's letting his emotions get the better of him at the moment. Larry is the number 3 of Skippy McConnell. You're right, he's waving his arms around like a windmill at the moment. Is the number 3 rider as they come across the line then to complete this lap, and across the line they go then, and it is as of 14 laps. Tim Neve, Rouse, Tom Neve, McConnell, Rollo, Rees, Todd, Kent, Truelove, Hutchison. No change of positions from the lap prior to that. That's Chrissy Rouse ahead of Tom Neve. Ahead of them should be the Hawk Racing Suzuki. Let's get a shot of that. At 0.8 of a second, it's beginning to pull away is the leader, the number 14 of Tim Neve, and just keeping our eyes on Tim at the moment. We just wait for him to come through to complete this particular lap. Just look for him in real time. Pick up with the binoculars. Yes, here he is. So he's safely there. Is Tim, and a retirement now for number 59 is a retirement out there on the circuit, and that is race over then for the number 59 of Matt Truelove, who was running up with the leading 10. Number 59 is a retirement. We know not where or why for that one, but got a replay of it. We went straight on at Brooklyn's left-hander, and that may well have been one of self-preservation with a technical problem, but the race is over for the number 59. I'm just looking up there for Tim Neve along with his brother, who previously, many years ago, were the British champions in the Junior Flat Track Championship Series, and indeed having raced in the UK Pro Flat Track Championship as well, has Tim and Tom. But I was just looking back for the last victory at national level, and the answer to which, Larry Carter, is, I'm sure your records will confirm with mine, he has never ever had a victory at national level. Tim Neve, according to my records, not in 2019, not in 2018, 2017, when he was 7th in the stock 600s. The best he could do was as 3 second places for Tim Neve back in 2017. So he is looking to get up and running with his first ever British Championship victory, the number 14 of Tim Neve, racing out of Market Raisin.
100%, Fred, yes, concur with that. Never had a victory at BSB level.
So he's going to be fighting cat and mouse on this one to maintain this position ahead of Chrissy Rouse. Chrissy Rouse, of course, he's looking for the championship, as of course is Tim Neve looking for the championship, but Tim has still got a little bit of work to do in that respect, because poor old Tim, he had a 4th and 7th at Donington Park, he had a 5th at Snetterton, yet to get onto the podium for the first time, yet to get onto the top step of the podium for the first time ever in his career at British Championship level, as we have the leaders then coming back toward us. New lap record is in the hands now of Tim Neve, 54.56 seconds. That is almost a quarter of a second quicker than his twin brother Tom went to set the lap record of yesterday. Through then, no change of the leaders as of 17 laps. Tim Neve, Rouse, Tom Neve, McConnell, Rollo, Rees, Todd, Kent, Hutchison. Then Dan Linford does displace Fraser Rogers for 10th place. That's number 4 Dan Linford up into 10th. Fraser Rogers goes back to 11th ahead of Weaving, Richardson, Winfield, Sheldon Shaw, Hedger, Jaycock, Braden Elliott, Teasdale. Tommy Felt runs 20th. Jenny Timothy, she's running 21st. Craig Neal, David Allingham up to 23rd. Williams, Tunstall, Hopkins, Danny Thayer 27th at the moment. Hodgson still to come as we go back with the leaders. Where are they? Coming in toward us here at Brooklands Corner. And from Brooklands it into Luffield. Chrissy Rouse still there ahead of Tom Neve. That gap in favour of Tim is 0.74 of a second. Now, is that going out, or is it being reduced? Is the concertinaing back as they come up then to complete lap number 18? Well, it's slightly increased to 0.79 of a second, because still in the 59s is Tim Neave. The rest have now drifted back into the 55s. So heading up to a second clear advantage ahead of the battle behind. At the moment, it's not so much a battle. They're being forced into follow a leader style, but that is looking a bit further back down the order on this one as they come back toward us. There's in amongst the back traffic they are at the moment, and that's getting the water slightly muddied there because there are 2 or 3 back markers that they are well and truly involved with to get past here. And Tim Neave has gone past them. Chrissy Rouse has gone past them. I think Tom Neave has also safely gone past them. Tom Neave has still got Skippy McConnell riding pillion passenger with him as they come through Luffield. And then just behind Skippy, there's about a 10-yard gap before we get Lewis Rowley, the Scottish rider, ahead of the New Zealander Damo Rees. Then Davy Todd, the number 74 rider, racing out of Saltburn by the Sea. Leaders into lap number 20 of this 24-lapper, race number 2 here at Silverstone Lane, gents, and Tim Neave, Tom Neave, Chrissy Rouse. So 25-2016, the battle for the overall spoils would mean that Tom Neave's 10-point advantage at the moment has been reduced down by 4 points to 6 points if they finish where they are, and there's no guarantee of that. Getting further back markers that they have got to get past. It's always a busy grid, is the stock 1000s, and not surprisingly, they do get involved in lapping these riders toward the end of about 20. Well, after about 20 laps, they are well and truly involved in lapping the slower riders. That's Danny Kent there, just picking up with Danny Kent. He's way down. He's running back in 8th position at the moment, is the number 52, the 26-year-old from the small town of Tetbury in Gloucestershire, on the platform Morello Racing Kawasaki. Got to get a lot of import from K-Tech to Morello Racing, but the colours that he runs are different to those of Fraser Rogers, who's also running for Morello, because Danny Kent has his own sponsor, which is Platform Hire. Leaders then are now in toward the final 4 laps and decreasing of this one. And there is the number 14 of Tim Neave. Good buddy, of course, with Guy Martin. And if you read any of the Guy Martin books, which I did over the lockdown then, Jess, I would recommend them to anybody. They are an absolute riveting read. Worms to Catch, A Week in the Mixture, and When You Dead, You Dead. 3 fantastic books by Guy Martin, and he gives a lot of mentions there to the twins Tim and Tom Neave. And indeed, I think he does help a little bit of the financial support for Tim Neave's racing programme, does Guy Martin, although he doesn't like it to be known that is the case. Because after all, he's only a diesel mechanic. Number 3 it is then. Number 3, Skippy McConnell, who at the moment is running in 4th place. That's 1 place shy of being on the podium. The podium positions are by no means guaranteed at the moment. What it is the battle for the 2nd and 3rd position. And if you were a Tom Neave follower, then you'd want that position to reverse. If you're a Chrissy Rouse follower, then you'd want that position to remain. That is Rouse running 2nd and Tom Neave running 3rd. And this is Chase for the honours. Got a good shot there of Damo Rees, number 92. Lovely character, very nice character is Damo Rees, the 25-year-old. He was runner-up in the New Zealand series over the winter period of December last year. Runner-up behind our own Richard Cooper, who went across to race in the Kiwi winter series. In toward the closing stats and retirement in toward pit lane, and that then is the number 12 rider who has retired, and that is Luke Bushy-Hedger. Where are the race leaders? Well, I can tell you they're just coming through Beckett's and coming out then onto the Wellington Straight. And that will then be the run down to the completion of 1 lap to go. Lap 23, 1 to go to the checkered flag. That advantage of Tim Neave's is not as secure as it was. In fact, Rouse and Tom are pulled back almost half a second over that last lap. And Tim Neave cannot afford to relax here. He's got another 1.64 miles to go before he can start thinking of his first ever victory at national level. He holds the way as they go into their last lap. And as they start that last lap. He leads Chrissy Rouse by 0.42 of a second, who's 0.47 ahead of Tom Neve, who's 0.7 ahead of Skippy McConnell, who's 0.7 ahead of Damo Reese, who's 0.7 ahead of Rollo, and then 2.5 seconds back on that is Danny Kent. Hutchie is up then into 8th place, number 44. Dan Linfoot now up into 9th place, number 4, and Davey Todd goes back to 10th place, number 74. Leaders are now on the run down toward Brooklands for the final time, and opportunity is running shy now for Chrissy Rouse for this race victory. It's looking good for Tim Nee, but he's not home yet. He's got Luffield to go. He's got a 10-yard, make that a 5-yard advantage ahead of Chrissy Rouse in toward Luffield 1 and Luffield 2. This could all come down to a drag toward the flag. It could be the drag race of the Suzuki and of the BMW, and it's going to be the running toward the checkered flag. And can he start celebrating? Yes, he can. Tim Neve can start celebrating. He's got his first ever national victory. Tim Neve home by 62 one-thousandths of a second ahead of Chrissy Rouse, who got home by 0.7 of a second ahead of Tom Neve. Then number 3, Billy McConnell, 92 Damo Reese, 6 Lewis Rollo, number 44 Hutchie, 52 Danny Kent, number 4 Dan Linfoot, 74 Davey Todd, followed by Fraser Rogers, 89, 34 Jordan Weaving, 28 Shane Richardson, number 10 Joe Sheldon Future, and Sean Winfield, number 8, picks up the 1.4 15th place finish. Out of the points, but finishes being 55 Leon Jaycock, 24 Barry Teasdale, 51 Braden Elliott came home 18th. Tommy Philp, the sidecar racer, number 32, came home 19th. Jenny Tinmouth, she came home 20th, number 25, ahead of David Alling, 23. Tom Tunstall, 21. Craig Neve, number 9. 94 Williams, 16 Hopkins, 26 Danny Thaez, 99 Hodgson, 35 Smith, 61 Salty Sellers and McKay at 1 lap in arrears. But time for celebration. Such a lovely pairing they are. Very, very friendly are the Neve boys. They'll take time, they'll chat to you. Quite funny, quite witty within their own way, but super, super talented riders. Runs for the Hawk team. The Hawk team, of course, are the parent team of Stephen and Stuart Hickin. The Hawk Racing has been around for a long, long time. Always known as the Bill Bay Suzuki team, but of course the parent team is that of Hawk Racing, running under the sponsorship of Build Base, and that the case here with regard to the number 14 of Tim Neve, but running under also the Neve Racing banner for number 14. But again, jubilation and time for celebration. Just to recap on that quickly then, it was number 14 Tim Neve by 62 1,000 a second. Effectively, Chrissy Rouse and Tom Neve. What that means is in the championship, Tom Neve will pick up 16 points. He will go on to 102 points. Chrissy Rouse will pick up 20 points. He will go on to 96. So it is now a 6-point advantage that Tom Neve enjoys when we go on to Alton Park in 2 weeks' time. That effectively was race number 5 of the 10 races. So that is the half stage of this year's Championship Series. And it is now down then to 6 points, Tom Neve's advantage over Chrissy Rouse. Damon Reese, well, he'll pick up 11 points. He'll stay there in 66 points for Damon Reese. Let's look for Skippy McConnell. He'll pick up 13.56, yes. So Damon Reese will stay there 4th, and Billy McConnell will Damon Reese 3rd in the championship, 66 points. Billy McConnell 4th on 56 points. Another cracking race here at Silverstone. We're going to have a presentation, but before that, we'll cut back to the studio.